I then staffed this case with Supervisor Blank and Program Director Blank and was advised that I would transport Miss Waldy and her children to the hospital to have the kids seen by a doctor and ensure that they were medically okay. I then transported Miss Waldy and her 3 children to be seen by Dr. Blank, who advised that Blank had thrush on his mouth, and it was common for a child his age to have. Dr. Blank denied that Miss Waldy's lack of hygiene would have caused the thrush. But do you like that they say Miss Waldy's lack of hygiene? And look, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but let's be honest. Does this look like a person with a lot of hygiene? Maybe that's rude of me to say, but every time I've seen this lady come on live, I've heard sick children while she's sitting there staring at the live, coughing in the background. Their coughs are horrible. Sound like she's probably not taking them to the doctor. Sounds like they've got pneumonia because the cough is so freaking bad and liquidy. Like you can just tell it's a wet cough. Like, who is saying stop bullying homebody? I want to know who. Come up here. Let's talk about it. Chiz mama, who was it? It's the bacteria from the nasty bottles. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She's gross. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the girl who defended Homebody. Yes, this is her. Astrovino Roaches. There's her at right there for those of you that have a difficult time. There. I love this. Boosted changed up real quick when she linked up with Kay. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Dr. Lunsford advised that Blank's diaper rash was now minor as Miss Waldy's treatment had been working effectively. Now remember, Miss Waldy wasn't effectively treating this until she was told by CPS she had to. Dr. Blank advised that Blank was low in weight. However, she does not believe that it is due to failure to thrive. So failure to thrive is when, if you're not aware of this, some kids, for some reason, have failure to thrive, which means they're not gaining weight. And a lot of times they'll be watched more closely so that you can make sure they're gaining weight. Here, let me give you like an exact definition so that failure to thrive in children is a term used to describe slow physical development, specifically when a child's weight or rate of weight gain is significantly lower than that of other children of similar age. It is not a disease itself, but rather a sign that a child is not getting the nutrition that they need to grow properly. Failure to thrive can stem from various factors: medical conditions, environmental factors, inadequate nutrient absorption. All right. During the visit, these doctors let these kids down too. During the visit, Blank was weighed at 22 pounds. Dr. Blank stated that Blank was failing to reach her milestones, but she did not believe that it was a result of abuse or neglect. Again, Miss Waldy and I went over the safety plan that stated that she would not allow Mr. O'Neill to have access to the children and would not be. So these are all of her kids. All 3 of her kids were behind, just to be clear. Yes. So see, Amy, yes, exactly. And it's just like you have to do extra work to get them to meet their weight and stuff. Aw, Tootie. All right. So they went over the safety plan. She's not allowed to have him around due to the DV. Miss Waldy agreed to follow up with the Delano Clinic as recommended by Dr. Blank and agreed to contact me within 24 hours of changing locations. Miss Waldy also agreed to follow up with counseling at Safe Place and the case. Guess what Miss Waldy doesn't do? Does anybody want to take a guess? Thank y'all for the subscriptions. Y'all are amazing. We're at 370. We're getting close. Y'all are amazing. On April 10th, 2018, I received a text message from Miss Waldy advising me that she was still in the same hotel but was in need of food, diapers, clothes, and hygiene products. Miss Waldy, why the hell didn't you try to do some sort of work for your children? Why? On April 13th, 2018, I provided Miss Walde with her request. Now, that's kind of crazy. April 10th to April 13th. So were those children starving that entire time? That's crazy. On April 20th, 2018, family-based services worker Blank and I met with Miss Walde to conduct an assessment. However, Blank could not complete the assessment as Miss Walde seemed overwhelmed trying to manage all of the children while holding Blank in her arms. Miss Walde was rug tested on this date and tested negative. On April 27th, 2018, multiple attempts were made to locate Mr. O'Neill to no avail. On April 30th, 2018, this cast was staffed with FBSS supervisor and supervisor Blank and was advised to obtain the information of Miss Walde's babysitter prior to case transfer. On May 2nd, 2018, I received a phone call from Blank who informed me that Miss Walde is back with Mr. O'Neill, you know, the person that she was advised not to have her children around. Aw, Bell, thank you for giving away a sub. Y'all are amazing. And Meredith, thank you for the sub. Connie thinks that she's done nothing wrong. Just to remind y'all, she's done nothing wrong. She's a perfect mother. She is, I mean, literally, she's just like Homebody. They have done nothing wrong, and I am the bully here. I know Candace has given away plenty of subs. She's amazing. So she's back. She's back with Dylan. She's back with Dylan. Candace has been here for a while. She's amazing. Oh my God. Mel Bell. Whew. So now do you see why Homebody and this girl are friends? All right. Thank you, Loves Karma. Okay, so back with him. And that she is no longer helping Miss Walde. Okay, so when she talked to the babysitter told her that Walde is back with O'Neill and that she is no longer helping Miss Walde babysit the children because she feels like Mr. O'Neill should be the one responsible. This case was then staffed with county attorney and supervisor Blank. So there was an attorney. With the information received, I was advised to locate Miss Walde and see if Mr. O'Neill is residing in that hotel room. I was advised to conduct the visit along with a special investigator to assist. Special investigator Blank and I arrived at the Midland extended stay and spoke with Blank manager who stated that Miss Walde is residing here with her children. She has seen a male who is in and out of the room but does not believe he lives there. When we were given permission to enter the room by Miss Walde, who gave us permission to inspect the room, upon inspection, the investigator found a bag with men's shoes. Miss Walde stated that the shoes belonged to Mr. O'Neill, and the reason they were in the room was because Mr. O'Neill's mother stopped by this room to drop off some of her things and belongings, and that bag was included. She denied that Mr. O'Neill was living there. Miss Walde stated that Mr. O'Neill has been by this room to see the kids, and she could not stop him from doing so because he is the father of the children, and he will make a scene if he does not see the kids. She couldn't stop him. They gave her a place to stay at the shelter and you're protected there. They're not going to let people come in. Yeah. Sounds like somebody else's lies. I mean, running from the police, running from CPS. She stated that Mr. O'Neill found out where she lives because his mother told him. Miss Walde stated that he has been here 3 times and stated that all he wanted to do was see his kids. We talked about the importance of Mr. O'Neill not being here unsupervised to avoid any possibility of domestic violence. Who is giving away subscriptions? Cajun girl. And Candace again. Oh my God, y'all, you're spoiling me. Shout out to the people. CPS. I mean, it's just like Gabriel Fernandez. They failed these babies. It is not only Connie and Dylan's fault that baby passed away, but CPS, these judges, everyone else failed these children. Whew. So they talked about Dylan not being there unsupervised to avoid any possibility of DV. She also advised that she would let him in to avoid any confrontation with Mr. O'Neill. Miss Waldy advised me that Mr. O'Neill is employed at Popeyes and he is currently residing with one of his friends. During this visit, the children were observed to be clean and appropriate. I spoke to the supervisor blank, who advised to ask for daycare to assist Miss Waldy. So remember, no help. She was in DV. She couldn't do anything. That nobody was helping her. No one. But yet, they're going to get her daycare so that she could go to work. On May 3rd, 2018, I made contact with Mr. O'Neill at Popeye's Chicken, where he stated that he has been staying with different friends at this time because he does not have a place of his own. Mr. O'Neill denied living with Miss Waldy, but admitted to visiting the children. I explained to Mr. O'Neill about the department's concerns regarding DV and that he is not to be visiting with the children unsupervised until further notice. I explained to Mr. O'Neill about the family-based safety services process and informed him that FBSS worker blank was looking for him to conduct the assessment. On the same day, I received a text from Miss Waldy, who stated that she is struggling to get babysitters to help her because they don't want to be involved with the department, and she would take them some time off from work. I informed Miss Waldy to contact daycares with availabilities to begin the process. So she even got to choose the daycares. Even got to choose them. Even got to choose them. So people have the yellow K by their name with the star. That means they're subscribed. You can't, it automatically gives a name for K. The pink one means that they're a part of the fan club. And if you are a part of my fan club, make sure you click that little heart thing up there, a little orange and white one. It only costs a penny to join the fan club, and then send your daily heart me, and make sure you go back in, Melanie, thank you so much, and collect it so that you can work your way up in the fan club and get points. And there's other things. If you're in that little spot, it'll tell you what to do, like commenting in the chat, all that, and you can get points for that. Thank y'all. Y'all are amazing. Hufflepuff, Paula, Betty, Heather, Steph, Mary, Grandma of Two, Stoner, Lily, Amy, Candace, Drink Your Water, Stephanie, Alex, Erica, Super Spy. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. W Melody. W Melanie.
Good boys, good boys.
All right, let's see. So, okay. Where were we at? So yes, she told her to start looking for daycares. On May 7th, 2018, I met with Miss Waldy and her children to provide her with applications gathered from Day by Day Daycare and Peppermint Plantation. On May 21st, 2018, I obtained the signed paperwork to begin the daycare process. I was advised by Peppermint Plantation that the nearest available date was June 4th and that they would hold 3 spots for the department. On June 4th, 2018, I met with Miss Waldy and her 3 children. So y'all, at the beginning of May, they started this look for daycare. Within 1 month, they had her a spot in the daycare. I met with y'all. If you're just now getting here, I can't repeat things. If someone in the chat wants to answer it for you, that's fine. This will on my backup channel, which is Crash Out Kayl1e. Link is in my bio. There will be clips tomorrow of all of this, or you can go to my YT, which is also linked in the bio, and there will be the full live. On June 4th, 2018, I met with Miss Waldy and her 3 children to inform her that the daycare had been approved for Miss Waldy to begin, and she informed me that she would take the kids tomorrow. On June 5th, 2018, I spoke with the daycare and was advised that the children did not attend daycare. On June 7th, 2018, I called Miss Waldy and her phone was disconnected. I went to the Midland extended stay and was informed that Miss Waldy had checked out 2 days ago. So June 7th, she checked out, cut her phone off, and then, but on June 5th, the day the kids were supposed to go to daycare, they were weird. I then went to the Logan's Roadhouse located at blank where Miss Waldy is employed, and she was not there. I spoke to her manager, identified as blank, who stated that he is the one that will sometimes have to pick Miss Waldy up from her hotel room. She is supposed to come in at 4 p.m., but is usually late. On June 20th, I spoke with FBSS worker blank, who received information that Mr. O'Neill had attacked Miss Waldy, who is wanting to flee to either New Mexico or California with her children. You couldn't even stay in a place for DV victims and their children, but you got the money to flee to New Mexico or California. On June 22nd, I spoke with Elsa, who stated that Miss Walde was assaulted by Mr. O'Neill and she was taken to her sister's house. I spoke to Blank, who identified herself as Miss Walde's sister, who stated that Miss Walde was attacked a couple days ago and law enforcement brought her to her home. She states that Miss Walde was making plans to leave the state, but she did not have more details. Blank states that Miss Walde left her home without notice and she does not know where she went. I then staffed this case with Supervisor Blank, who instructed me to go by the hotel she was staying at and see if I could locate her. On June 25th, I located Miss Walde and her 3 children at the Midland Inn. The manager, who identified herself as Blank, informed me that Miss Walde was in room 9 and that the First Presbyterian Church was paying for her stay. Once again, more mental issues are real. Yes, absolutely. Okay. We understand. I've been a victim of DV. Absolutely understand that. However, majority of victims of DV would not leave their children with the person who they were told was not to be around their children. She had ample ways to protect her children. Ample ways. And she ran from those ways every single time. Absolutely not. I fled states with my 3 children. Exactly. She decided that her life was more important than the lives of her children. If you think that I am degrading a DV victim, you do not understand all of this, because I absolutely stand for and defend DV victims, as I have been one, as my mother was one. I have friends, all of it. I'm a nurse. I would always stand beside a victim. But she is also a perpetrator. She also caused harm to her children. She neglected them. They were starving. Clock it, Kayl1e. I know. Maybe I should no longer crash out, Kayl1e. All right. She just wanted to do whatever she wanted. Y'all, these kids were not even biologically his. Breaking the cycle. That's right. Okay. Anyone, do we have the picture of them on the mods? Did y'all get me that? Oh my God. Not this. Let's see. Did anyone get me a pic? I know one of y'all got pictures of this girl and her mans. I know one of my mods do. Give it to me. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so she went to her sister's house. She's making plans to leave the state. Miss Walde left her home without notice, and she does not know where she went. I then staffed this case with Supervisor Blank. All right, okay, no, here we go. Located at the room. As I was walking towards the room, I observed Miss Walde with Blank in her arms and Blank walking with no shoes on out by the parking lot. I asked her if I could speak to her inside the room, and she gave me permission to enter. Blank was observed to be sleeping on the bed with a blanket that appeared to be soaked in urine. All 3 children appeared to have a foul odor and in need of a bath. Miss Walde informed me that she got into a fight with Mr. O'Neill a couple days ago at the Victorian Inn. She stated that he is the only one that is wanting to help out with the children, but this decision backfired on her. Miss Walde stated that he found her through speaking to his family, and he wanted to see the kids, so she allowed him to, but when she was leaving to work, Mr. O'Neill claimed that she was going to hoe around and started to hit her. To be fair, Connie, you was hoeing around, girl. I ain't saying you deserve to get hit, but his statement was not incorrect. She states that she had to call Midland police to come intervene. As a result, she has lost her job because she has nobody to take care of the kids and no means of transportation. She stated that she did not keep in touch with me because she had a new phone and she didn't take the kids to the daycare because she had no way of getting them to the daycare. Y'all, the man was not there when this happened. The kids had a foul odor. He was late. She was outside with one of the kids and the other one was asleep on the bed by themselves, soaked in urine. After speaking to Supervisor Blank, she advised that Miss Walde and her children be transported to Midland CPS office so that the children could be weighed. Once again, the kids being weighed. CPS would have helped her get the kids. Oh, here we go. Hold tight, people. Wait, are we sure this is him? I don't think this is him. Are y'all sure? I don't think this is him. I need mods to confirm. I need mods to confirm that that's him. This is him before the crazy hair? Okay. All right, we'll put him up on the screen. Hold up. Here. I was going to do that. I guess we'll just take down... Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's disgusting that these people are on here talking about mothers. That's the reality, is that is absolutely absurd. To be on here with the balls to talk about other people as parents. You're crazy, girl. You're crazy. Here's our girl. Helen OG, unless your name is Kayl1e, you're not coming up here. That's them. Helen OG, you better be Kayl1e. That's all I know. I don't know how to do this so y'all can see the chat. Someone said this is him before the crazy hair. If not, still her. There's her Instagram if you want to go look. You can find him. Yeah, she was taken care of. This can't be him because this was in 2019. He was already in jail, I'm pretty sure. I'm not. I hit a button. Okay. I forgive you this time. All right. Here we go. Get ready. It gets worse. She posted it. It's just an old pic. Oh, okay. After speaking to supervisor, she advised that Ms. Walde and her children be transported, blah, blah, blah. Ms. Walde stated that she did not take the children to the doctor because she had no Medicaid and no money. But remember, the kids had to go be weighed. And only one of the kids allowed them to be weighed, and she was 24 pounds. Oh, hey, Destiny. Thank you. Nah, I ain't letting these people get away with this. You don't get to be on this app talking shit about people, talking shit about other parents, talking shit about me when this is you. No, ma'am. Miss Walde then advised me that she was the one who called Mr. O'Neill and told her she was at the Victorian Inn. When I informed her that the stories were now conflicting about how Mr. O'Neill found out where she was, she began to get loud and claimed that we just wanted to take her kids, so we might as well do that now. Y'all, I can hear her now.
So that being said, the cycle doesn't end until you end it, guys. A whole bunch of boxes you can come up, tell your story. It'll be a judgmental-free zone.
Judgmental-free.
And if anybody in the comments says anything negative, I'll be the one to block them, because we're not doing that.
You tell them,
Never
girl.
walked a mile in your shoes, and you know,
I don't want to walk in your shoes because I would never.
We all have our past. We all have our stories, and honestly, I really just want to. I mean.
Yeah, we all have our past. No, we don't all have a past of stories about our kids looking like That doesn't sound judgmental free. We don't have that past. What's her bio say? How old was all these kids were like, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. They're all underweight though. Oh, don't worry. We're about to get to it. Y'all get ready. Get ready. So she said, y'all just want to take my kids. Yes, girl, we do. We do want to take your kids. Crazy. Also, just a history of Dylan O'Neill. In 2006, he had a greenery charge. 2009, he had a greenery charge. 2016, unlawful restraint. 2016, criminal mischief. 2022, capital murder of a person under 10 years of age. Not right after capital murder. Oh no, not her bios. I'm the queen. And then she's got her kids on there. I'm not going to say their names. My life is not easy, but God has me. Is this an old profile or is this her new? Because she's only got 2 kids on there. Everything she was getting, churches were giving it to her, all kinds of things. So she was getting, I don't think God has you, girl. You need to be worried about when God gets a hold of you. We think she had 9 or 10 kids. Honestly, she lies even to CPS about how many kids she had. So there really is no telling. Okay. So back to it. She began to get loud and claimed that we just wanted to take her kids, so we might as well do that now. Upon further examination of the children, Blank had a severe diaper rash with white substance on his neck. The rash appeared to be bleeding and had to be treated with Desitin. Blank also had a rash on the neck area. His lower half was rashed so bad that it was bleeding. How do you let that happen to your baby? This is when they were in her care. This is not. Sorry, one of my mods shared. She shared a post that said, no rug possession on my record. Oh my God, this girl is crazy. The babies were not in his care when all of this was happening. When the children were underweight, when the children had diaper rash so bad that it was bleeding, they weren't in his care. Kayl1e was lucky that she abandoned her children when she did, or she very well would have been right there with him when that child passed away. Mark my words. I don't care what you think, Astravino Roaches. You are a smurderer. Miss Waldy stated that the children had just had a bath yesterday, and she was in the process of giving them a bath, but could not do so due to my visit. I spoke with Miss Waldy about the allegations of her traveling to New Mexico and California, and she stated that she was planning on going to New Mexico and then on to California. She indicated that she had relatives in both states. She stated that her aunt, who lives in New Mexico, was going to come to Midland to pick her up and her children up. All right, now on to CPS history. 10/19/2010, Kayl1e is a 15-year-old parent of a 6-week-old and is supposed to live with her guardian grandmother, Eileen Waldy. Kayl1e has had chronic school absences for the last year or two and applied at Coleman High School. The interview indicated that the grandmother cannot control Connie. Connie indicated that she doesn't come to school because her 6-week-old baby is always sick. When asked about the physician care, she said she didn't have insurance. So even then, she wasn't taking her baby to the doctor. You're telling me you didn't have Medicaid for your kid. You just didn't even try. Like, you just absolutely didn't even try. You could have been getting food stamps. Oh, wait, don't worry. We'll get to food stamps and her recent con artistism. Don't worry. She did some stuff with some food stamps. Y'all just wait. She could have had all that, but she didn't. Yes, the baby weighed 11 pounds when he was 11 months old and he passed away. We have offered childcare at Coleman High School plus busing services to Connie, and they have not come in over the last 3 days to enroll. My concern is that the grandmother's housing and inability to guide and care for this 15-year-old mother, and in addition, the girl's inability to take care of her new child. Neglectful supervision. Reason to believe. Kayl1e had taken Blank to home of her ex-boyfriend, Dylan O'Neill. Connie admitted to Dylan having anger issues, so Dylan O'Neill has been involved in this girl's life from the get-go. She took her child that she had after Dylan to this man's house and already knew that he was a horrible person, and then continued to get with him and have more kids with him. So Dylan tried to fight Joseph Gabaldon, the father, remember, the one that got custody of her first child. In the past, Eileen also had concerns of rug usage in the home of Dylan. Connie stated that she is no longer with Dylan and she will not allow the baby to be in that home. Blank is currently with the father and paternal grandparents who are protective of him. Connie has run away in the past, and both Eileen and Connie stated that there are communication issues between the two of them. So that right there, that was in 2010. The first kid was taken from her. She was already involved with Dylan. So here's Connie has a criminal history of theft of property, disposition, convicted, confinement, and then I read y'all his stuff. Conclusion. This case was staffed with Supervisor Blank and Program Director Blank, and a decision was made to seek emergency removal as there was no sufficient time consistent with the children's welfare to hold an adversary hearing prior to the removal. The department made all reasonable efforts to place with family. However, Ms. Walde has failed to provide the department with appropriate caregivers. She wouldn't tell the CPS anybody that would take the kids. The department is seeking temporary managing conservatorship over the children to ensure that Ms. Walde and Mr. O'Neill receive the services necessary to ensure that they can adequately provide for and protect their children. It is in the best interest of the children to not remain in the care of Ms. Walde and Mr. O'Neill for the following reasons. There is concern with Blank's weight, as she weighed 22 pounds in March and has only gained 2 pounds since. There is concern with the children who were found in unsanitary conditions and their hygiene was poor, resulting in Blank having a severe rash in his down there area that was bleeding, and another rash in his neck area. There is concern that Miss Walde does not have the necessary skills to ensure that her children maintain a stable and sanitary environment. Let's listen to that one more time. There is concern that Ms. Walde does not have the necessary skills to ensure that her children maintain a stable and sanitary environment. There is concern that Ms. Walde keeps allowing Mr. O'Neill access to her home against the safety plan that she agreed, and as a result, Ms. Walde was attacked by Mr. O'Neill. There is concern that the children, all under the age of 3, all of these kids are under the age of 3 years old, are nonverbal and fully depend on their caregivers to ensure that their basic needs are met, to include a safe home, appropriate clothing, proper hygiene, appropriate food, and that they're regularly seen by a medical professional to ensure they are meeting their milestones. Good night, Hufflepuff. All right, June 26, 2018. Having examined and reviewed the evidence, including the sworn affidavit accompanying the petition and based upon the facts obtained therein, the court finds that all reasonable efforts consistent with time and circumstances has been made by the petitioner to prevent or eliminate the need for removal of the children, the subject of this suit, from the home, and to make it possible for the children to return home, but continuation in the home of the parents would be contrary to the children's welfare. The children have been removed. So, lost her first child, right? And then 3 more kids. Oh, wait, you know what? No. We're wrong here. This is how many kids this chick has. Because 2018, because if the baby was because he was convicted. Okay, I might have it wrong that the youngest one in this case, which this is crazy. The youngest one in this case also only weighed 11 pounds. Okay, this is crazy. This girl is ridiculous. So, yeah, so this is the next 3 children. Okay, so far we have lost how many kids? Lost custody of the first one, had to give up the next 3, and then another 3. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep that counter on, guys. Keep that counter on. You don't have to come and confess. We're looking for you. We gon' find you. We gon' find you. So you can run and tell back, run and tell back. No, the child hasn't passed away at this point. We're at 7 kids, though, being taken away. At what point do we sterilize somebody? I'm just asking, God. I'm just asking. At what point? At what point do we say, you 2 should not be allowed to have more children? She's only 30 now. There is an immediate, okay, I know she's going to lie and say, I don't have the documents. Hold up. Connie loves to lie. The court finds that the children have been removed. There is an immediate danger to the physical health or safety of the children. Continuation of the children in the home of Kayl1e Walde or of Dylan McKay O'Neill would be contrary to the children's welfare. Reasonable efforts consistent with the circumstances and providing for the safety of the children were made to prevent this. The court finds that the following temporary orders are in the best interest of the children. It is ordered that the department is named temporary sole managing conservator of the children. In accordance with this, blah, 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 under the subchapter, okay, the parent homeschooled the child, is economically disadvantaged, has been charged with a nonviolent misdemeanor, blah, 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 all that. It's just court words. It is ordered that in addition to the rights and duties listed in blank, the Texas Family Code, the department is authorized to consent to medical care for the subject children. So basically, custody switches over to DCFS, which is CPS. So this is like what all of them are ordered. They're ordered for like the child support. They have to provide the information about the kids. Pretty much, they have to give DCFS all of the information needed to take care of these children. I think so too, Denise. I'm I'm serious. It's despicable because they don't stop. If your children have to be removed from you forever by CPS, yeah, I just don't think that that's, full adversary hearing. A full adversary hearing under blank will be held at the time and place set below. So they had a chance to come up in there. So they appointed, okay, so a provision ordering respondents Kayl1e Walde and Dylan McKay to execute an authorization for the release of the respondents' medical and mental health records to the department. So they had to give their mental health records and their medical records to the department. Ad litem appointments. So Sarah Spector was appointed to represent the children in this case. She was a lawyer for them. The court also appointed a guardian ad litem, which if you've heard of that, sometimes you can get a GAL ordered in your custody case, and they will write up a thing saying what is best for the kids. Now, in this case, CASA, which is, I can't remember exactly what CASA stands for. If someone wants to put it in the chat, it is, they basically fight for kids who are being, like in dangerous situations or being abused or that kind of stuff. I don't know how we hold DCFS accountable, because I can tell you this, that when we were dealing with a child misuse situation, CPS only made it worse and didn't help us at all. And honestly, they contributed to the fact that our children stayed in it longer. So they let a lot of things slide. They literally told us that there's nothing they can do about bad parenting, which I didn't know abuse is bad parenting, but okay. Court-appointed special advocate. Yeah, there you go. The court finds that appointment of an attorney ad litem for the respondents may be mandatory under blank. It is ordered that respondents appear. So basically, neither of these two could afford lawyers and all that. And they're, when you don't have any money and stuff like that, a lot of times they'll give you a lawyer. Access to children, information relating to children. So this is just talking about that, the guardian ad litem having access to any information on the kids. And then their order they were supposed to have court on July 9th, 2018. So that was that one. All right. Order establishing parent-child relationship. Yeah, the CPS in Texas is trash. Okay, so this was just to find out if Dylan was the parent of these 3 kids. And so remember, we found out in the last one, Dylan wasn't the parent, I think, of one of them. And then the court finds that a valid acknowledgement of paternity has been filed, blah, blah, blah. So I guess he's the parent of these. Like, honestly, it's unknown. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't worry, we're going to get to the jailhouse communication soon. Family service plan. The department is involved due to the neglectful supervision. So this is another one. This is about, let's look at this. Identifying information. So this is the safety plan. Kayl1e. There's some kids. This is 2019. Kayl1e, parent. The department is involved due to neglectful supervision of all 3 children. Blank and blank. The biological mother, Kayl1e, and alleged father, Dylan O'Neill, the children were oftentimes left unsupervised or by individuals they don't know. She left her kids with people they don't know. The parents of the children were failing to meet their